In 2009, stop-motion animation films were forever changed with Coraline. It introduced audiences to a stunning and eerie stop-motion world unlike anything they had seen before. Directed by Henry Selick and based on Neil Gaiman's novel, the film pushed the boundaries of animation, blending whimsical fantasy with unsettling horror in a way that resonated with both children and adults. Now, over a decade later, Coraline remains a landmark in animation, a haunting yet captivating tale of courage, identity, and the importance of family that continues to enchant new generations of viewers and start them on their journey into the horror genre. So we're looking at the gateway horror of Henry Selick's Coraline.
I almost fell down a well yesterday, Mom.
Uh-huh.
I would have died.
That's nice.
Back in 2002 is where our journey began. Henry Selick, known for his work on The Nightmare Before Christmas and James and the Giant Peach, approached author Neil Gaiman and expressed interest in making his novel into a feature film. Selick originally thought that the adaptation would be a short film, under an hour in length. During scripting, however, that would change. Selick gravitated towards its dark yet whimsical tone and built upon that. He expanded certain elements to make the story more cinematic, such as deepening the relationships between characters and adding the character Wybie, which added a stronger emotional arc for Coraline and incorporated a more visually dynamic other world. Pre-production began around 2005, and early work focused heavily on storyboarding, character design, and set creation. Selick's version of blending stop-motion animation with modern technology set the stage for an ambitious production. Japanese illustrator Tadahiro Usugi was asked to become the concept artist on the film. He would later have a huge hand in set designs and backgrounds. Also, in 2005, Laika was officially founded as a new entity run by Travis Knight, and they decided to take on Coraline as their first full-length feature.
They even get your name wrong, you know? They call you Coraline instead of Caroline. Not Caroline at all. Maybe I work them too hard.
Coraline was built in a 140,000 square foot warehouse in Hillsboro, Oregon, which would become Laika Studios. The production team utilized traditional stop-motion animation techniques for their film. The movie was divided up into 50 lots and had around 150 sets. The garden scene was the most complicated set created for the film, involving hundreds of handmade flowers that were created to grow and move according to when Coraline moves. More than 28 animators at a time would work on rehearsing or shooting scenes, producing 90 to 100 seconds of finished animation each week. 3D, a huge gimmick at the time of release, was implemented into the making of the film as well. The crew used stereoscopic 3D and filmed the stop-motion scenes twice, once for the left eye and once for the right, to simulate natural human depth perception. This gave the film a three-dimensional quality, making objects and environments pop out on screen. The design of the puppets and sets was crafted with the 3D format in mind from the beginning. The crew paid special attention to textural details and scale to make sure that objects and characters would translate well into the 3D space. This process was not added in post-production, but was part of the on-set filmmaking from the start, enhancing the immersive quality of Coraline's two worlds, the drab, muted reality and the vibrant, eerie other world. One of the more remarkable aspects was the scale of the puppets. Coraline was just 9.5 inches tall, with carefully sculpted details. The animators also created specialized puppets for other characters, such as the acrobatic circus performer Mr. Babinski and the theatrical Miss Spink and Miss Forcible, to ensure fluidity in their distinct movements. Thousands of high-quality 3D models, ranging from facial expressions to doorknobs, were printed in 3D using the PolyJet matrix systems, which enabled computer drawings into high-quality three-dimensional models. Each puppet had separate parts for the upper and lower parts of the head that could be exchanged for different facial expressions. Some characters even had over 208,000 facial expressions, especially Coraline and the other mother. There were 28 identical puppets of Coraline, and each one took 3 to 4 months to make. Sometimes it would involve more than 10 people just to build one. There were 450 crew members, around 35 animators, animators, and more than 250 technicians and designers involved in making Coraline come to life. There was even a crew member who was hired specifically to knit miniature sweaters and other clothing for the puppet characters. A single garment could take anywhere from 6 weeks to 6 months to complete.
Put them back.
My other mother would get them.
Maybe she should buy all your clothes.
Principal photography for Coraline was a meticulous and lengthy process, taking around 18 months to complete. As one of the largest stop-motion projects ever undertaken, given the laborious nature of stop-motion animation, the team worked simultaneously on different scenes. Each animator was responsible for their own, which could take several weeks to complete. The lighting was carefully controlled, mimicking natural light to enhance the film's dark, eerie tone, especially in the other world. Every aspect of the production had to be precisely coordinated, making Coraline an extraordinary achievement in stop-motion animation.
How can you walk away from something and still come back to it?
Walk around the world.
Small world.
While the people behind the production deserve nothing but praise, we can't forget about the cast of voices that we hear in the film. Dakota Fanning was cast as the voice of Coraline Jones, the adventurous protagonist. Fanning, already a well-known child actor at the time, brought youthful energy and nuance to the character, perfectly capturing Coraline's curiosity as well as her courage. Terry Hatcher provided the voices for both Coraline's mother, Mel Jones, and her sinister counterpart, the other mother. Hatcher's ability to shift between the caring yet distant real mother and the menacing, manipulative other mother added depth to both characters. John Hodgman voiced Coraline's father and his more eccentric otherworld version, adding a quirky charm and humor to the role. Keith David voiced the enigmatic Cat, a guide to Coraline in the other world, with his deep, soothing voice bringing a sense of mystery and wisdom. Other notable cast members included Jennifer Saunders and Dawn French as Miss Spink and Miss Forcible, two retired actresses who offer Coraline cryptic advice. And we can't forget Ian McShane as the fabulous and our favorite character, Mr. Babinski, Coraline's upstairs neighbor who happens to be Russian and has his own jumping mice circus. The film's hauntingly beautiful score was composed by Bruno Coulet, who created an ethereal, dreamlike soundscape to complement the eerie visuals. One song, entitled Other Father Song, was made by They Might Be Giants. The band was hired to write an entire soundtrack for the film, but according to John Flansburgh, the production team wanted the music to be more creepy, and only one song was ultimately used. Coulet mixed traditional instruments with children's choirs and unconventional sounds like water glasses and marimbas to create a unique atmosphere that enhanced both the whimsical and frightening elements of the story. The sound design was equally meticulous, with every creak of a door, rustle of a fabric, and tap of Coraline's shoes being carefully recorded and placed to maintain the immersive atmosphere. Coulet's score was performed by the Budapest Symphony Orchestra and features choral pieces sung by a children's choir in a nonsensical language. Coincidentally enough, Coraline won the 2009 Annie Award for Best Score for an animated feature. If you're a film score enthusiast, I highly recommend that you purchase the vinyl wherever records are sold. There are even different color variants, each one more beautiful than the last.
Before we continue with our video, here's a reminder to click the store tab on any of our JoBlo channels and browse our collection of the latest and freshest designs in our merch store. Go get you some.
Coraline released in theaters on February 6, 2009, and brought in just under $17 million on its opening weekend. With a budget consisting of $60 million, it would end its worldwide tally at $125 million. I'd say that's pretty successful for a new studio's first film, don't you think? Currently, Coraline sits with a 91% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, with the consensus saying, with its vivid stop-motion animation combined with Neil Gaiman's imaginative story, Coraline is a film that's both visually visually stunning and wondrously entertaining. The late Roger Ebert was quoted saying, "A beautiful film about several nasty people," and "nightmare fodder for children, however brave under a certain age." Other critics praise Coraline for its stunning stop-motion animation, enhanced by 3D technology, which created a visually immersive and tactile experience. Director Henry Selick was commended for balancing whimsy and horror, making the film appealing to both children and adults. Dakota Fanning and Terry Hatcher's voice performances were widely appreciated, particularly Hatcher's dual roles. While some found the pacing slow and the tone too dark for young children, Coraline was largely celebrated as a groundbreaking and visually rich animated film. The movie would go on to garner significant recognition and acclaim, earning numerous awards and nominations. It was nominated for Best Animated Feature at the Academy Awards, marking Laika Studios' first major recognition in this category. It also received a Golden Globe nom for Best Animated Feature and was considered one of the top 10 films of 2009 by the American Film Institute. Coraline's innovative use of stop motion combined with 3D technology earned it critical praise and several technical awards, including a Visual Effects Society Award for Outstanding Animated Character. It also won the BAFTA Children's Award for Best Feature Film.
Like if she said, "Coraline, go to bed," I could say, "Mom, I've got an Academy Award," or "Tidy your room." Oscar, Mom. Deal with it.
It's hard to say or feel anything negative about Coraline. There's just so much to love about it. One of the strongest aspects of the film is its imaginative world building, which inspires awe and excitement. From the opening scenes in the real world to the discovery of the vibrant but eerie otherworld, Coraline captures the audience's attention with its richly detailed setting. This imaginative journey fosters a sense of adventure, appealing to the desire for escapism, while subtly reminding viewers of the perils that come with it. The film's stop-motion animation, which plays a significant role, is also something of a joy. There's something beautiful and more homegrown about the process. The intricate craftsmanship of the puppets and sets, combined with the use of 3D technology, results in a visually mesmerizing experience. Every frame of Coraline is packed with artistic detail, from the textures of the characters' clothes to the lifelike quality of their movements. It also resonates on an emotional level, with its exploration of complex themes that strike a chord with audiences of all ages. Coraline's journey from feeling neglected and misunderstood to realizing the value of her real life is deeply relatable. For children, this story can provide comfort and empowerment, teaching them to face their fears and appreciate their loved ones. But for adults, the movie offers a nostalgic reminder of childhood feelings of loneliness and the desire for escape, while also affirming the importance of personal growth and resilience. Let's not also forget the cast. They all bring a gravitas that is relatable, creepy, hilarious, and iconic in its own way.
You may come out when you've learned to be a loving daughter.
Since its release in 2009, Coraline has had a significant cultural impact. As one of the first stop-motion films to incorporate 3D technology, it revolutionized the visual possibilities of the medium, influencing other studios and filmmakers to experiment with the blend of tactile animation and modern cinematic techniques. Laika Studios became a leader in the stop-motion genre, gaining a reputation for pushing artistic boundaries, and has gone on to make several other wonderful films. It also broadened the scope of what animated movies for children could explore, delving into darker, more mature themes like loneliness, identity, and the consequences of unchecked desires. It has inspired a generation of young viewers who grew up appreciating its gothic aesthetic and has garnered a cult following that continues to grow. In conclusion, Coraline is a prime candidate for gateway horror. It remains a timeless piece of art that continues to offer new layers of meaning with each viewing. Its blend of innovative animation, compelling storytelling, and exploration of complex themes makes it more than just a children's film. It is a work that resonates with audiences of all ages. The film's dark, fantastical elements remind us of the importance of facing our fears and appreciating the imperfect realities of life. As both a visual masterpiece and a narrative rich in emotional depth, Coraline is a film that rewards repeated visits, offering fresh insights and renewed appreciation for its craftsmanship and its messages of bravery, identity, and resilience. There's just one thing we need to know. Which color buttons are you interested in?
Black is traditional, but if you'd prefer pink, or vermilion, or chartreuse.